Men of Bronze is the latest Blue Book rule system from Osprey Games. It consequently follows the usual format, a 64-page softback book. The rules focus upon the battles between ancient Greek warriors and their enemies, often other Greek warriors. The rules begin with a helpful guide to the equipment needed, miniatures, basing, measurements and everything else. There is also a brief but concise history of the Greek city-states and their enemies. The rules are designed to be largely miniature and scale agnostic, and no exact base size other than figures being individually based. The system uses 6-sided dice and the base width method for movement. The core rules section begins by explaining the use of unit profiles, discusses the unit size of 10 models, and the 2 basic formations, open order and phalanx. There is also an explanation of the use of smaller than 28mm sized figures and multi-based models. The basic turn sequence is as shown, exploring the phases and roles of arete points, used as a player's pool of special activations tokens which may be used to make a change, utilise a unit's special rules, re-roll a dice, etc. They may be played at any time, including as an interruption to an opponent's actions. Movement is made using the unit's leader as a focal point. He is placed in the centre of the unit and should be obviously painted or posed to be recognisable. Open order units may be within 2 base widths of the leader, whilst the phalanx formation has all the bases touching. The leader's base is always moved and the rest of the unit are placed around them. Terrain affects movement as defined. Melee means coming into contact with the enemy, with supporting units being used to aid the melee combat. Dice are rolled to determine the outcome, with modifiers on the number of hits caused compared to the armour of the units. Courage points stands in for morale, and, along with the discipline rating, is used to define the status of a unit, e.g. a unit loses 2 courage points after it loses a melee. They now have to roll twice against their discipline rating, needing 2 +4 successes to avoid the penalties of wavering. Shooting works in a similar way to melee. The end phase is where the consequences of combat actions are finally calculated, with losses leading to a check for collapse, and the more models which are lost, the more chances of an army being routed. Once you have mastered the basic rules, there are a number of advanced and special rules. The different classes of units are then explored, complete with the various stat lines and an explanation of each potential unit option. This includes elite hoplites, light hoplites, peltas and heavy cavalry, etc. The next section offers information on creating historical armies, complete with samples, before moving on to battles and scenarios, which come in both generic and historic forms. A nice touch are complications, which are aspects of battle which can affect the course of the fight or the final results. This set of rules offers an introduction to ancient Greek battles and works well within the framework of the period. The emphasis of leadership is reflected in the rules, and the arete points work well to vary the opportunities available during games. Although the book includes some nice Osprey artwork, the photographs of figures are pretty uninspiring, unfortunately, and a further proofread of the text could also have been useful. In company with all the Osprey Blue books, this is a complete game with options to add extra elements. A useful set of rules, albeit one with a very particular focus rather than a widespread period-wide approach. This video has been produced by WI Prime. WI Prime is Wargames Illustrated Magazine's online members club. As a WI Prime member, you get access to all Wargames Illustrated videos before anyone else. We'll keep you posted on what's new via the Primetime News Bulletin delivered to your inbox every Friday. If you're not a WI Prime member, you're missing out on loads of benefits, including access to the Wargames Illustrated Vault, freebies, discount vouchers, PDFs of the latest magazine, and more. Find out more about WI Prime by following the link.